Hey, everybody. So I'm on here to talk about Lyme and COVID-19 vaccinations, really. So I'm looking to find some other people's stories too of what happened after you got the COVID-19 vaccination and which one you got, what kind of symptoms you had. So I'm really looking forward to sharing my experience so that maybe it can make one other person feel more comfortable to either get the shot or just feel more comfortable after they take it if they're having any symptoms or anything like that. Because my experience with it was first, let me start with I have Lyme disease and it's chronic and Bartonella, and it is it's 1,000 times better than it was 3 years ago, but I had also had it 30 years ago. It's the same one, and but it really started feeling not so good after I got the shot. Now, I wasn't feeling good before the shot, so let me start by saying that, but the symptoms were exaggerated. So, here's what happened. This Tuesday, I went and got my shot about an hour and 20 minutes away from where I live just so that I can get it sooner. Granted, I was the person who would not get the shot. I just didn't want to get it. And I wanted to wait. And I have to smile or laugh when I say this because I wanted to wait to see what happened to other people. And that's so not nice. But I wanted to see if anything happened to anybody else first. And then I'd get the shot. What ended up happening was I started really getting I don't know, I wanna be able to do things again, and I know that I still have to take precautions and use a mask and all that, sanitize, but I still want to be able to again. So I went this Tuesday, and here are my symptoms from there on in. We were driving home in the car, and I'm trying to think, we made one stop in a supermarket, and then we were driving in the car, and within a half an hour of the ride, so I'm gonna say it was about an hour later, possibly, I started feeling totally exhausted to the point where I could just sleep, and I was falling asleep on and off in the car, but exhausted. Now, I'm used to feeling exhausted with Lyme disease, but this was like overexhaustion, like, "Okay, it's time to go to sleep," and it was about 11:30, maybe 12, maybe, and just so that I can add in everything that had to do with getting the shot went very well. And it was the Moderna shot, but I don't think it would matter what shot it is or was, and I only got the first one so far. So, as I see more people tuning in, I just am repeating something. So this is what happened. On the way home, I got exhausted, and then once I got home, which maybe was 1, I just wanted to go up to bed, and my husband asked me if I wanted to eat, and I said no, because I also felt nauseous, but I was so tired, I didn't even feel like picking a spoon or a fork up. Seriously, that's how tired I was. So, I went up to bed, and even though I was exhausted, I couldn't sleep. So, about a half an hour later, I was hungry, it was just in time, and I went downstairs and had lunch. But I don't think I had a lot of lunch. I just had a little bit and then went back up and I went to sleep. And I was probably in bed, I believe 6:30 is when I remember getting up. And by then it was almost time for dinner and I was hungry, but yet I had soup. I had soup. Um, but that was it, and then I went back to bed at about 7:30. Now, I normally go at 9:30, I know that's early, but I normally go at 9:30, but I went at 7:30, and I was in pain on and off throughout the night. The pain that I was experiencing that day, also on the ride home, I had a dull headache, and that continued to get worse throughout the day. But because I was laying down and sleeping on and off, it was fine. So then I went to bed And the second day, I woke up, had a headache again, and now my Lyme disease symptoms were totally exaggerated. It's normally pain, but this was, or yeah, I'm not even going to say is because it's really not anymore. This was like really made it act up like it was from in the beginning. And it's been not so good lately, but for the most part, it's been great compared to how it was. So that second day was feeling a lot of the Lyme symptoms. I could only explain this, and people would only understand who had Lyme, because you feel it in your joints, especially, but you also feel it in your bones and you feel it in your organs. So it had all that stuff acting up. And by the second night, I was really tired. Well, I was really tired throughout that day. It didn't start getting really exhausted probably till about 1, I would say. And then still had the slight headache, and then it got worse by the night. So that's when I started taking Tylenol, and then went to bed the next night. Third day, today, right? I got it Tuesday, Wednesday, nope, Thursday. Well, I still had the really bad Lyme exaggerated pain, but I didn't have the headache, I don't think, when I woke up yesterday, but I still took Tylenol, and then throughout the day, it started getting better, and then I was still exhausted, but I can never tell the difference because of the Lyme, but it could have exaggerated that too. But this morning, here we are, Friday, I got it Tuesday, and I'm feeling pretty good. And the arm pain I did get that everyone got. The only thing is my pain's so much worse normally, and the Lyme pain was acting up so much, I hardly even noticed that except when I was laying on it, even though it did hurt. So that's basically what happened to me after the symptoms. They were the same symptoms almost everybody else has that has mild symptoms. And the thing is, they just exaggerated and brought my Lyme up. But today, that's feeling much better. So I'm really happy about that. So it was about a 3-day bout with a lot of pain. Oh, and my lower back, really weird. That normally doesn't hurt me at all, but that was hurting also. So I basically had that experience, and I know others who had almost the same experiences. So I just wanted to hear yours. So if you'd like to share, feel free. And if it's after the fact, you could certainly share in the comments, and maybe I can have you on another day, because I want to get people's symptoms. I want to get people's experiences, and I want them to talk about what happened with them so that people can feel like I felt, knowing that everyone had the same yet a little bit different experiences, but all over the world. So it's good to know that, because it just helps. So I was hoping we can help some people too. So join me for the next one. Bye.